Hey guys, Alex here with Heckman Productions, and welcome to episode 1 of Road to Anaheim 1 in MX Simulator. Now it's been quite some time since I've done an MX Simulator video where I've actually talked. The last couple years it's been mostly just a random edit here or there that I've put together, whether it be on my channel here or on Start Your Systems. But this season I'm going to try to take another crack at the Pro Series, and figured I would try to do a series of my progress as I'm preparing for the season. It's about a month or so until the start of the season, I believe. I'm not sure the exact date it's going to be starting in MX Simulator. Usually it's the Wednesday before the pro race, but sometimes they do it the Wednesday after, so I'm not sure, kind of just depends. But yeah, I've just been doing a little bit of gameplay here and there, trying to warm myself up. I've done a couple practice races. One of them I'm going to share for episode 2 and kind of analyze what I did wrong, what I did right, and all that good stuff. So sorry if you can hear the controller clacking. I don't exactly have the best setup for recording gameplay while I'm playing. I have moved since the last time I've done this stuff, which I had a proper setup then, and I don't now. So anyways, we are playing on Checkers Sky Ranch facility compound thing here. This is the top Supercross track, which is my favorite track on this compound. The motocross track is pretty fun, but between the two Supercrosses, I would definitely like this one better. I have quite a few more laps on this track as well. So one of the bigger changes I've made for this season is my setup. I'm trying something different now. I mean, we could go into the first race and I could change it because it's not working, but I got a setup from a friend of mine, Braden Carter, the reigning 450 Supercross champion. And so far it's been working pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. It's kind of just allowing me to be more consistent throughout the whole track. And I also made a small adjustment to my advanced stability to try to bring a little more stability to my riding. Now, if any of you know my racing, my reputation when it comes to professional racing is I can usually set a decent lap time if I get a clean lap. The problem is just getting that clean lap and then staying clean in the races. I always get super nervous for some reason, even though it's a video game, in the pro races, especially the main events, and it just tends to cause me to make mistakes. Now, I don't really play a whole lot anymore, at least I didn't over the summer and over the last couple years. Last year I kind of did some of the series, but I just signed up for individual rounds when I was around to do them. Whereas this season I'm actually going to make an effort to make my schedule work out so I can try to do every race at least. So yeah, the last time I raced Supercross, other than a couple of the fun races I did, was last year for Supercross. I can't remember which rounds I did or which ones I didn't do, so I'm not sure how long ago that was. But I figure I'd go over a couple of my goals for this upcoming season and see if I can meet those by the end of the year. So the first goal is to not rage quit any races, whether it be heat races, LCQs, or main events. It's something that has happened to me in the past where I just have a few crashes right in the beginning of the race. Especially happens if it's because of other people and I just can't avoid them. So I've been known to rage quit here or there, which I try not to, but sometimes I just can't help myself and I get mad. So goal number 1 is to not let myself get so worked up to where I end up rage quitting out of an event, no matter how bad I'm doing. Just to try to get cool, calm, and collected and just start riding and not really paying attention to the positions. And honestly, the season that I did my best, I actually blacked out my position on my pit board for the races, and that's how I raced. It worked really good for motocross because I didn't really care. Supercross, it was a little more tricky because obviously in heat races you want to know if you're going to transfer or not, so it's kind of a challenge there. So I'm not going to do that this year just because I do want to know how close I am transferring. if I need to take somebody out in the last corner or something like that. So other than rage quitting, goals are pretty simple. I want to try to qualify near the top 20 in every round, which means focusing on getting clean laps and qualifying. I always get stuck either trying to do the big lines in the rhythm sections that I shouldn't be trying, or I get hit by other people. So I'm just going to try to avoid other people as much as possible and focus on finding the consistent lines that I'm going to be hitting in the races. So going into the races, my goals for positioning wise is obviously I want to make main events. That's the main goal. For the first couple rounds, that's going to be my main goal, like just focusing on that, and then see how the main events go. And hopefully after the first couple rounds, I'm able to put in some better results and eventually get close to that top 10 is what my goal is. And with my riding how it is, even right now, I feel like I can do that if I stay off the ground. So that's kind of why I've been playing a little more often, is to try to get more consistent again at the game, and that way I can hopefully be more consistent in the races and not hit the deck as often. So yeah, that's priority number one. And try to limit the crashing. So another thing I wanted to touch base on, going back to my setup changes, I'm actually pretty used to it so far. It's pretty different than what I was running before. The only thing that I'm still kind of getting used to is the changed physics whipping and scrubbing. It just feels way different to whip and scrub now over triples, so it's kind of taking some time to get used to that. And I've only been using this setup for about a week, so that's why I'm still not very good at it. My whips aren't anything special right now. So, which, I mean, when you're in a race, you're not out there to throw whips, or at least most people aren't. You're out there to try to race, so I'm not too concerned about how my whips are. I'm just trying to stay low, so I'm not too concerned about how my whips look on this setup. Speaking of setup, you can see I'm wearing some pretty sweet stuff. I want to say thanks to apparently I can't speak. Phobias for sponsoring the SYS racing team this year. We have 27 different gear sets. Tyler Wren gave us his Alpine Stars SM10 helmet model, so big thanks to him as well. Between the two of them, we are looking absolutely amazing. I did the colorways on the helmets to try to match the gear, and then obviously logoed up the gear and put the names and numbers on the gear. And then the bike I designed, we're still using the free Honda model by LC Creations, I believe is his name. Just because after paying for gear and the rider model that I didn't have yet, I didn't really have any money to spend on a bike model as well. So we're still using the free bike model, and I feel like it looks pretty good this season. And I designed it. I actually designed this bike last year and then ended up using a different bike for last year's team. So I ended up finally using this design for this year. I made some modifications and changed some sponsors and whatnot, but I think it turned out pretty sick, and I'm pretty stoked to see how the team does this year. So yeah, I think that'll about do it for episode 1. I just wanted to go over some of the goals and stuff like that for the season. Episode 2 is going to be an onboard analysis of a fun race I did not too long ago, and I'll probably do a little bit more of that, maybe a live race with my buddy Ethan Parks or something along the way as well. If you guys have any ideas on what you want to see for me preparing for this upcoming season, go ahead and drop them down below. Not sure how this video is going to do. It's like I said, I have not done an MX Simulator video, let alone a series, in a long time. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see. If this video absolutely tanks, then maybe I won't make another one. So I think that'll about do it, guys. Thank you so much for watching the video, and we'll see you guys in the next one.